Hi boys and girls, today we are going to be painting like an impressionist. Our inspiration is going to be a lady named Berthe Morisot. She painted this beautiful flower bouquet, and we're going to do our own flower bouquet, and we're going to do it in an impressionistic manner. So what is an impressionist? An impressionist is someone who uses quick, gentle brush strokes, almost like your paint strokes are dancing butterflies, okay? And it's the way they kind of capture light. And we're going to be creating balance in our art. That's another principle of art. And that is organizing the elements in a work of art to distribute their visual weight pleasingly. So if I was going to decide how to distribute these bubbles and I was going to paint them on here, I could put them like they are here, or I could, let's rearrange them a little. Let's try a different arrangement. I could do them like this with like overlapping in the center, or maybe I like a big bubble here and a big bubble here and the smaller ones in the middle. This is pleasing to me, but I feel like this one I would want to balance it by putting maybe another light colored one here. So you're going to give that some thought in your art today, but with regard to your flowers, okay, when we paint our flowers. So today you're going to be selecting a piece of colored paper to paint on. If you're at home, and you're probably going to want to use crayons if you don't have paint, so you will probably want to select a piece of white paper because the crayons will show up better on here, or maybe a really light yellow. I'm actually going to do yellow today. You can pick whatever color you want. And then we're going to start with, get my messy mat here. I've got a paper towel and my brush. I'm all ready to start. Now, we're going to be using tempera paint in the art room. And you can see that I have my neutral colors, black and white in the center. All the warm colors are here, and the cool colors are here. And I have actually two blues there. You can't really tell, but that's a kind of a turquoisey blue. Doesn't really show, but you'll see eventually, okay? So we're going to all start with black to create our picture, okay? So we're going to basically draw our picture using black. Oh, that wants to get on my keyboard. Okay. You don't need very much, just a little black. I'm going to create a vase here, and I want to leave room for my flowers. Your vase can be any shape you want. You could make like the letter U would make a good shape for a vase. You could make it curve in at the top if you want, however you want. I think I'm going to make the letter U. I'm just going to start in the middle and go down and curve up. And then I'm going to make the top of it curve out a little bit so it looks like it's open. So if I do a straight line, it might not look as open as if I kind of tip it down a little bit like that, okay? And then I'm going to draw my flowers. Now you can make your flowers any shape you want. I'm just going to do some wavy lines here to show where my flowers are. And we want to create balance. So I put one on that side and one on that side. Maybe I'll put a little one peeking out underneath here. Maybe I'll put another bigger one up here. I'd say limit yourself to maybe 5 flowers at the most. And then add a few leaves peeking out. So to make a leaf, I'm just going to start right here and come out, and start here and come out, and make it come to a point. I think I'll make another one here. So I'm kind of curving out and making them kind of come to a point. Almost like diagonal lines, really. Diagonal, diagonal. And now for balance, I have 3 leaves there. I feel like I need another one here. So try to make yours have balance. Pleasing to the eye, right? Okay, once you have that done, you can take, oh, I just forgot, we have to have a horizon line. So we need to draw a horizontal line that separates the background from the table this is sitting on. But when you get to your vase, don't paint across your vase. So start on one side and go directly across, then lift and come over here like that. Now I can tell where my background is and where my table is. Now to clean our brushes, instead of using a water dish, we're not going to need one today. We're just going to take what's left on our brush and we're just going to wipe it off on the bottom. And I'm using little strokes, remember we were going to make it seem like it was dancing butterflies. So I'm just going to dance around here on the bottom. And then I'm going to take some white. Now my brush is pretty cleaned off. You can test it on your paper towel. Mine's pretty clean. It's mostly out. So I'm going to dip it in the white. And I'm going to take some white and just little dancing butterflies here, down here, and kind of make it into different values of gray, okay? So that we don't waste that black. We can just dab in little dabs of white. And sometimes I go back and forth. You can do kind of like an X kind of pattern. I'm getting a little bit more white there. I might leave a little bit. I like a little bit of that yellow to show through, so I'm not going to cover mine up completely with white and black. I'm going to leave a little bits of yellow just peeking through here and there. You can do yours however you want. Remember, this is your impressionist painting, so whatever looks pleasing to you will be good. I'm getting kind of there. All right, I'm feeling good about this. I think that's a good enough amount. All right, now make sure your brush is nice and clean, as clean as it can be. Now I like to start with the lightest. I'm going to use warm colors for my flowers, and I'm going to use the cool colors for the one of these colors for my vase, and then I've got 2 different greens for my leaves. So I'm going to start with the lightest warm color, which is yellow, and I'm just going to put a little bit of yellow. Actually, I'm going to put it in the centers because I kind of want my centers to be yellow, and it'll stay nice and yellow since my paper's yellow. All right, and then any extra you have on your brush little strokes in the background here. Just kind of wipe it off on the back of your paper. Mine's still got a little bit of black in it, which is kind of interesting. It almost looks green. Okay, now I'm ready for another one. I'm going to try orange. I'm going to put a little bit of orange in here. Little brush strokes of orange. Wherever you think you want orange. Oops, I got a little bit on my leaf, but that's okay. I'm going to add green to it, so it'll cover that up. Oh, and I forgot this little guy down here. All right, now I got some orange. I think I'm going to do pink. Now, you don't have to use pink, red, and orange. You can use just one or all of them if you like. Whatever looks good to you. Ooh, I got a lot in there, and I wanted to use little brush strokes because in a minute here I'm going to add some white to add. Remember, Impressionists were able to capture light in their art. So I think that's good enough. I'm going to wipe off the rest. Little brush strokes in the back. I'm dancing my brush around like a butterfly. I'm not pushing down really hard on it. If I push down really hard, I'm going to get a big lump of paint there. And I don't want a big lump of paint, do I? I want just little bits, little brush strokes. Okay, now I'm going to add a little bit of white to some of my flowers just to bring out, it'll make it a lighter pinkish orange color. So wherever you want to dab that around, it's going to lighten it up just a little. And the fun thing about this is your eyes will start to blend these colors together. So even though I'm making little dots with this, my eyes are going to blend that together and make it into a pretty color. So I don't need to actually stir it all together on the paper. I want to leave little dots of color. Okay? Now, I've got a lot of white and pink and yellow in my brush, so I got to go back to the background and do little brush strokes back here. Wipe that off. And if you feel like your background is getting too full of color, you can always take your brush and finish cleaning it off on your paper towel, because you should have a paper towel. Okay. Now I'm ready for my green. I'm going to start with my lightest green first. And I'm going to put that in my leaves. If you do light green and then dark green and yours gets too dark, you can always put more light back in. Or how can I lighten a green? What color would I add to it? I hope you said white, because white will bring it to another level. Or actually yellow might lighten it too. Okay, so I've got some of that green. Now I'm going to put little brush strokes of the darker green, and I'm going to put the darker green kind of closer to where my flowers are, because the shadow from the flower would be like right along the edge here, where the flower petals overlapping that leaf. So I'm going to, especially these that are down here. Actually, I feel like I want a flower, a leaf coming down right here, so I'm going to add one right now. Okay, now I am ready. Oops, to clean my brush off, I got to wipe it off on the background here a little bit. A lot of paint on my brush still. I'm going to have to use the paper towel for this one, I think. Yep, because I got a ton of paint. All right, there we go. Now, my last thing I'm going to do is paint my flower pot. And I have a choice here between purple, a royal blue, and this is kind of a teal blue. I think I'm going to do purple. So remember, small brush strokes, put some purple in there, and then you want to get different values of purple. This purple is pretty dark, so I'm going to put a little bit of purple everywhere, and then I'm going to take some white and I'm going to lighten my purple. So I'm going to do this, and it'll bring it to more of a lavender color. And I don't want to get it mixed with the green. If I mix it in with the green, I'm going to end up with some really brown vase here, and I want my vase to be purple, not brown. Okay, I can see it turning a really pretty color of lavender in some places. I like that. And I'm still doing little brush strokes. Maybe a few more brush strokes here. All right. I'm also thinking a little bit about where the light might be hitting my vase. So if the light's shining from here, it would be a little bit lighter on this side. Maybe I need a little bit more dark purple over here, because that's where the shadow would be. Actually, there'd be a shadow kind of right here where the flowers are overhanging. Okay, so you can think about lightness and darkness in your painting. All right, I'm feeling pretty good about that. All right, wipe a little bit of that in the background here, and I am done.